Kate Dreyer, Secretary.
Brian Byler, Vice Chair.
Kent Turner, Commissioner.
Jody Edmondson, Interim CEO.
Cynthia Asbury, CFO.
Lana Mills, Director of Nursing.
David Carlisle, Commissioner on the phone. Sandy Martin, Chair. Next up is approval of the December 16 minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, passes. Y'all have an agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Public comments. Richard Webb.
Richard Webb, former employee at River Springs Hospital. Narcissism, self-entitlement, arrogance, and greed. These things have destroyed entire nations. So what makes you think it can't destroy a hospital and everyone in it? My wife and I, and a lot of other good people that just wanted to do the right thing, work, live, and be part of a good place, make a difference, and be happy, were wronged, defamed, had our very dignity attacked, and made to suffer by the very people that were supposed to have had our best interest and the interests of the hospital at heart. Instead, we get ignored. We get political games and smoke screens. Well, I'm here to tell you all that my wife and I are not kids throwing fits and tantrums as stated by Ms. Asbury in one of her secret text messages to another commission member. And neither are the good people or the other good people that have spoke out, either former or current employees that have been wronged. My question to you all, including every commission member, every city council member, and even the mayor, is this. How can you see this and what's been done to so many good people and still being done and do nothing and still call yourselves leaders of anything? Make no mistake, none of us are going anywhere until these questions are answered. Thank you.
Samantha Webb.
Samantha Webb, former medical records clerk at River Springs Hospital. There's something that I want you to remember, and that's this. I literally thank God that I'm nothing like you. I'm not a kid throwing a temper tantrum. I'm a grown woman with a husband and family no less than you. I was your medical records clerk, remember that? Guarantee you remember that. I also won my unemployment claim. Guarantee you remember that too. And twice at that. Did you really think that any of us would simply walk away with our tails tucked between our legs? Did you? You threw the lives of good, decent people into turmoil, and you know it, and you're proud of it. It's your world, and we're just living in it, right? Right? You demand my husband clean restrooms while you watch, break laws, have secret meetings, HIPAA violation, anyone? For what? Your own selfish greed, your ego and self-entitlement, your arrogance? That's what. Do you know what empathy is? Can you grasp what that word and its meaning is? See, we're not here out of spitefulness. You can turn your back, look down, hide all you want, but make no mistake. This isn't going away, and neither are we. Only guilty people refuse to look at other people. You're nothing more than bullies. You know it. I know it. My husband in this town knows it. And so do you. Shame on you. By the way, if you can't handle a newspaper article stating facts, there's no way you can walk a mile in our shoes. We want accountability, we deserve it, and if you were in our shoes, you would expect it too. Oh wait, empathy's not in the vocabulary of a narcissist. My bad. No, we're here because Cynthia is allowed to conduct herself like a bull in a china shop. The mayor won't stop her. Even the former CEO wouldn't stop her, but maybe she was intimidated by her too. Kent Turner wouldn't dream of stopping her. Barbara Dix wouldn't stop her. Jody Edmondson wouldn't stop her. So yeah, we're here. Cynthia and Jody aren't the only guilty parties, though, not by a long shot. In closing, my husband and I, and along with the rest of the collateral damage in the room, will be at the next meeting. And by the way, when that high horse you love sitting on falls down and you land with a thud, you remember your own words. It's not my problem.
Bradley K. Green.
Good evening. So I just want to remind you, as a commissioner, your oath to the Constitution you took before the mayor, your oath to the state of Arkansas, and your oath to FOIA. The Commission of the Eureka Springs Hospital Commission shall have responsibility for the management of the affairs of the organization and any other enterprises owned and or operated by the organization and the quality of patient care. Patient care right now is failing. I have connections with many administrators in the community, and they say they will not bring their patients to you. They refuse to do it. So your quality of patient care is going down the shitter. The organization will not discriminate on the basis of race, color, creed, national origin, sex, or disability of a patient, employee, medical staff member, volunteer and employment, membership of the medical staff, admissions, access to care, care rendered, or any other aspect of patient care. I had the privilege of visiting 2 medical facilities in Texas last week and visiting with hospital commissions. This hospital commission presents an agenda, you state a topic, and then we go, we're going to vote on it. There's no discussion. The community wants to know what the hell you are doing because they don't know. So guess what they're seeing? All the bad. Everything. As an individual who is ethical, I even applied for the CEO position. Jody Edmondson last year when I applied for a position told me, you are overqualified. And then there was another question as to, do you have this certification? Yes, I do. Never heard back. My thing is I am highly qualified for this position. Haven't heard anything back from anybody. And yet, if I was the CEO, these 2 would be held accountable with love and respect, and would be held accountable to the law of the land, as well as healthcare law, policies, procedures, accountability. One thing I do want to point out is while I was in Texas, I did a motivational speech on good to great. There is a difference between being good and being great. You can have good people in certain positions, and you can have great people. The point is you have people in position, but do you have the right people in the position they're in? If I was the CEO, I'd be looking at where you're failing miserably and put the person with the most passion and the most experience in that area to fix it. By the way, you have somebody who committed Medicaid fraud, sitting and serving in your leadership. You also have somebody who was terminated from Mercy recently, and yet you're going to bring somebody that was terminated to take a position of where you terminated somebody. I think you should be investigating that as well. And then not only that, what about your heart stroke certification? Joy Kennedy was just recognized, and she gave you so much information, and yet you failed to listen to somebody who is full of credibility.
Time.
Yeah, I know there's time. But guess what? At the end of the day, you have failed to fulfill your commission duties, and everything is null and void that you say.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, everybody.
I got here a little late on your list.
Alan Webb. Announce who Alan Webb.
Announce who you are.
My name is Alan Smith. I represent tonight myself and other concerned citizens who could not make it tonight, but are not going away. I have spoken here before about my grave concerns for Eureka Springs Hospital. Due to, I believe, very poor management by this commission and the CFO and the CEO currently in charge. The facts as printed in the newspaper regarding illegal meetings of commissioners bring into question the very legality of every vote and decision of this commission, with all those participating knowing full well they are operating outside the law and in doing so destroy the authority granted them. In my opinion, any commissioner who has willingly violated FOIA laws has violated their ethical obligations, their oath, and the law, and should resign immediately for the sake of the public and the patients they serve. The commission report delivered to council by Chairperson Kent Turner knowingly lied about the lab being fully functional. Does the commission as a whole endorse this kind of reporting to the city council and the public? Can we have earnest discussion regarding these issues before making further decisions and obligations? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, CEO report, Jody?
Yes, thank you. We have submitted our final plan of correction to the Department of Health, and we're waiting on their response. The Rural Health Redesign Center sent us a copy of the Health Equity and Services Needs Report they performed last year, and we're building from that. And we've started gathering information for the community ascertainment study. The pharmacy Pyxis system is installed, staff is being trained, and will go live the week of February 10th. Eureka Springs Hospital offers a $1,500 scholarship to a senior student who is interested in pursuing a healthcare career, and we're going to continue that. We have new faces at the hospital. We have Lana Mills. She's the Director of Nursing and Clinical Services with over 22 years of experience. April Germain, Lab Manager with over 10 years of experience in healthcare. We are in the process of onboarding Velvet Schultz, RN, with over 35 years of experience, and we have a pathologist who is currently going through the credentialing process.
Thank you.
Jody, do we have a time frame on that pathologist then?
She is currently in the credentialing process. We've submitted her stuff, her credentials to the Chief of Staff for approval. April is already working with her on blood product policies, and their plan is to have the lab fully up with blood bank by January 31st, if not before.
All right, good, awesome.
And for those who don't know, that is Lana Mills over there. She referred to. I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing to stop.
Hey, Sandy, could I interject something? I just wanted folks to know that at the most recent city council meeting, it was a citizen was understanding that we didn't have any clinical supervision, and I just wanted the public to know that Lana's been here probably a month at this point, haven't you? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That's true. Thanks for bringing that up. CFO report, Cynthia.
So on the the report here, the second page, you'll see the bank account balances for ending on 12/31 at 24. It was down about 147,000. Within that, part of that was due to the expenses of getting our lab back up to functioning, getting some of the equipment, the QC stuff we needed ordered for supplies, along with the additional expenses in lab management and contracts we took on to get the lab back functioning within that. So, as well as additional staff, as we staffed 3 nurses for all shifts from November through December. So on the next page is our revenue usage and summary report. Within that, you can see we didn't have OR services for the month of December, and our ER services was down some. Again, that was due to being on trauma divert from blood products within that. So, and then the next page is our income statement for the month. I will say we didn't have much in the bad debt expense write-offs this time. We have closed out the books with MedHost for all of our bad debt within our legacy system, all the patient refunds out of the legacy system, And we are just working on extracting essential reports for Forvis and our cost reports at this time out of the legacy system. So we do have a loss for the month of about $132,000. But again, when we factor we were down in ER volume from being on divert and not having OR services, and the additional expenses we took on for the month for clinical support areas, that's kind of within that. So, and the only other thing I would say is that within our expenses should be decreasing. We are, January 31st is the end of our MedHost contract, which is our legacy system. So we're, again, working to finalize everything within that, working closely with Forvis to get the reports that they need out of that system before we lose that, so.
Good. Well, the 132 is better than the 250.
Yes,
Considering what we're going through.
yes.
Any questions for Cynthia? Do you? Okay, Jody?
I just couldn't hear you. What, Ms. Schultz, Velvet, what is her position going to be?
She is going to be an RN, but she's also going to directly assist Lana with any of the needs.
Okay. And then the pathologist, did I hear you say that we would be able to, okay, so full lab, full everything, not having to divert any longer by the end of this month?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool, thank you.
Good news, lots of progress. Anybody else for Cynthia or Jody? Good?
We're fine
Okay,
now.
bank signatory changes. Entertain a motion to discuss. So moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we need to remove Barbara Dix and put me on the bank signatory cards. Any discussion on that? Problems, issues? Motion to approve? Do I have a motion to approve? That was to discuss. Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We're also, since we have changed to an REH hospital, our mission and vision were slightly out of sync. So we workshopped it at our last workshop and came up with the new mission and a new vision. Mission is, the mission of the Eureka Springs Hospital is to provide community-centered quality health care and education through expanded access to essential emergency and outpatient medical services while reducing healthcare disparities in Eureka Springs, Carroll County, Arkansas, and surrounding communities, and to cultivate a culture of continuous learning, empowering our employees to reach their full potential in an adaptable workplace. The new vision is the Eureka Springs Hospital is a high-performing and innovative critical pillar of rural healthcare, continuously expanding services and programs, creating opportunities for staff professional development, and leveraging telehealth care technology to break down barriers and increase equitable access to health care and wellness education. Any discussion about?
Motion to accept the mission and vision.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Just to make it clear, the reason, as we discussed in the workshop, the reason we're changing the mission and vision is because we are now not a full-blown critical access hospital. We need to do that in order to become in line with the type of facility that we are.
Right, correct, correct. I think this does that. Okay, thank you. Next up is, all those in favor of approving the mission and the vision?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. So moved. Medical staff has approved the QAPI plan. However, it has the old mission and vision in it. Jody made a copy of the new QAPI plan with the new mission and the vision in it.
That's what this is? What-
That's this.
Yeah, okay.
Everything else is the same as
Okay.
we had approved the last time. It's just updating it with the mission and the vision.
Right.
So do I have a motion to discuss or to approve?
I'll second that. To approve.
To approve. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next thing is, we all went it, and I brought one copy if y'all didn't bring yours, but
Calendar.
we have been in discussion and planning with the UAMS, IDHI, the Innovative Digital Health Institute, for a telehealth plan for the hospital. We have a proposal that we workshopped and went through in pretty good detail at our last workshop, and we're very comfortable with it. It will be a 3 to 4 month planning and assessment process that will conclude or result in a plan for the hospital. They've already done on-site visits and know the hospital pretty well. We all liked, I think I can say it, we all liked the proposal a lot. It's a cap of $30,000 for this period of it. We will have a $7,900 and some change down payment for them to get started. They're anxious and ready to go, so we need to formally discuss it and approve it, so I'll entertain a motion to discuss.
So moved.
I second.
Okay. Any discussion or any thoughts, or anybody want to mention anything about
We just
the
talked about
proposal?
the grants that would go along with this. Hopefully, the grant money will help us cover the cost.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll fill in on that. There are two ways of paying for this. One is our REH designation funding, correct, Cynthia? Does qualify to pay for it. In fact, they encourage that type of expenditure to expand the services. The other is the city, on our behalf, has sent a letter of interest. It's not an application yet, to Blue and You Foundation to fund part of it, as well as purchase of some of the equipment. We hope to get more than one telecart and be able to expand from there. So one of the two ways, we've got the expense covered without any problem. Thanks for bringing that up.
Nothing else has changed since our discussion at the workshop?
Nope. Everything's, oh, I did check in on it. You had asked about if the cart was a traditional lease or a buy.
Yeah, okay.
It's a traditional lease. So it shouldn't be any problems with the
Okay.
county.
And I think, Ken, in that aspect, you're talking about that being the better way for us to go with a traditional lease.
If we have to buy it, if we buy it ourselves, yes, because the equipment changes so quickly that you end up being able to switch it out in the shorter period of time. If you do a capital lease, you effectively, it's nothing more than financing it. You own it at the end of the period.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And
great
they are
news.
very much into making sure that they update the software and the equipment, because they're still piloting some things and adding things onto it, so it would be good. Any other comments or discussion or questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the proposed telehealth plan.
So moved.
And I will second it.
You guys are in lockstep.
We're carrying it tonight.
All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Review the bids for the vacuum system, Brian?
Yeah, so where we're at right now is been discussion about this vacuum system at the hospital, and we're going to pursue a little bit different, or at least look at the maintenance side, and if there's a repair that can be made before we move forward with any kind of a change. We could be looking at $60,000 worth of cost if we have to buy a new system. So we're definitely going to look at the repair side of it first and see if that can be corrected without having to buy a brand new system. There's some great stuff out there, but why spend the money if we can? So we need to follow up on that, Jody, and we'll see what, where we transpire in the next week or so, see what we can do to get hold of. There's a couple of companies there that I'm aware of that I think probably would be the ones to come in and try to service the old. And I'll talk to you more about that, or, Terry and our situation there will. All right, so.
Are they local or regional companies?
One of the companies is very much local. Otherwise, they're most of the companies we've looked at in the bid process are strictly just bringing in the equipment to us, and then we're having to bring in a third party that we've used before that did the oxygen. They would have to come in and install it.
Okay.
So one company's a turnkey, and then the other ones are, the equipment's purchased from them, but then so we're gonna look at that. But I definitely, after having a discussion, it's like, let's look at repair, or what can we invest in it, without having to buy the big, bite the big bullet on it, so.
Is that something that we need a service contract on?
The type of system we have is probably more maintenance, not maintenance friendly, let's put it that way. With our size of our hospital, you just don't have the staffing. If there has to be maintenance done, you really got to go outside. And so that's our biggest challenge with that idea. But if we're going to spend the dollars, we're going to spend the dollars based on the fact that the newer system would not be as maintenance loaded. That way our folks wouldn't have to be having to worry about, having to keep it running. And but let's see what we got going on with the old system first, and then we'll go from there on that thought. But there's some great things out there, but it's all about the dollars,
So have we received bids?
Yeah, we have all the bids we need. There's a spread between them. I've talked to a few of the contractors that sent us bids to try to evaluate what they were bringing to the table. And the highest bid is a turnkey operation where they come in and do it all and put it all together and basically become kind of accountable for all of it. We go with another one, we'd have to buy the equipment from them and then depend on that third party to do our maintenance or keep it up. So that's what we've got to evaluate as we make decisions on it. Is it worth bringing in a third party to keep it going, or is it better off to buy a turnkey where that company will stand behind what they install? So we'll see what transpires. But once we can get a feel for repair, if we can do the repair, I think maybe the repair will give us at least an idea how much time this system we currently have has, how much lifetime it's got left on it. Where we really mean to make an expenditure.
I hate to ask this, is that the original system?
I couldn't tell you. I've been in this town long enough but I've never seen it. I mean, I've been here 85. I'm not aware of it. And it's a big enough system that just like the oxygen, you would know probably if it had been changed. It's a big enough undertaking. So, but we'll have to check that out. But
Okay. It's a parts issue.
Yeah. So, but I'll give Jody on that and maintenance, and we'll figure out, get someone in there to look at for a part, see what we need to do, if it can be repaired, all right? But like I said, we'll be in a $60,000 cost expenditure if we end up having to buy a new, all right?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Commissioner comments? Kate?
Yes, hang on. Here we are. Jody, will Velvet be pulling some regular shifts also, along with her duties to support Lana's administrative work? Just curious.
Yes, at first, probably not, but she is willing to do that.
Okay. And how far does she have to travel to get here?
About an hour.
Oh, wow, okay. And are we looking to hire some full-time folks still, LPNs, or so we're not having to use as much agency staff if we're still looking? Okay, great. And how many days left until the Department of Health has to get back with us? When's their deadline?
We expect to hear from them this week.
At any, okay. And so they haven't arrived in person yet? All right. Thanks to the public for their comments today. And we're pulling it together, in my humble estimation.
So
Yeah.
we are
Thank
looking.
you.
Oh, sorry. We
I'm
are
good.
looking at trying to get more hired instead of the contract type of stuff. We're trying to get some more on
Yes, sir.
site?
Lana has been doing
Okay.
interviews currently.
Okay.
It's the best way to go.
Yep. Thanks, Lana.
Brian?
Jody. I'm excited about the telehealth program. I think we've really looking at a great asset being brought into the hospital. And, my hat's off to our new staff and what they've already done. And I had a conversation about our Gary Inman, our fire chief, and I feel real good about that relationship and building that. And we've got Gary Martin at Holiday Island, another fire chief that we need to establish a good relationship with and build that, that positive situation. So my encouragement, and Lana, thank you for all you've done so far on that. I appreciate it.
Good. Thank you.
I also appreciate the public comments. Thank you very much for those. And I appreciate the amount of work that Lana and Cynthia and Jody and a lot of people at the hospital have put in to try to get past this Department of Health thing. I think it has been an endless amount of work.
It has.
Yeah.
Echo everything. You guys have been terrific. Lana, you've come on board and taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, and done it and helped us identify some good hires, and we appreciate that. Cynthia and Jody, you've been amazing during this transition with all that has gone on. And I'm proud of this commission. We've all dug our heels in. And, I miss David. Does David have any comments?
Oh, yeah. Do you have?
comment, thank you.
No.
Okay, sorry, David.
Sorry.
I didn't see you on the phone there. One thing that we talked about at our last workshop was whether we need to have more frequent workshops to work through some of these things, and I think we all agreed that we do, particularly after we get the Department of Health, regardless of what the determination is, that we need to meet regularly on that. So we're going to wait until this week and then decide, and I will contact all of you to see if we should have a workshop next week, next Monday at our regular time, or if we should wait. And then once we get through that and get into the telehealth, we will also have to have some frequent. So I think we are looking at every other week, or twice a week, every alternative on the workshops to work through them. So that's just a head up. I gave you all a schedule of the
Yep.
annual workshops and the commission dates. We'll fill those in as we add workshops as well. Did I give you a copy, Ken? I will get you one. There you go. And our next workshop is scheduled, if we don't have one next Monday, for February 3rd, 2 o'clock at 25 Norris. Regular meeting is February 17th at 6 o'clock right here. Any other comments or closing remarks from anybody? None? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'm going to second it.
Why should you not? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's adjourn.
Thanks,
Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.